Greetings everyone, my name is Etterville, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Make a Good Mega Man Level Contest 2, or MaGMML 2 for short. During the last part, I completed Forgotten Fortress, defeated Doorman, and completed Tier 3. So in this part, I'll enter Tier 4. But before that, I have 4 things left to do in this hub world, starting out with this thing, which is spending my bolts at Eddie's shop. And I've accrued over 1,200 bolts, though I want to save some for the costume shop, so I will not be purchasing the charged buster upgrade just yet. After all, when we were developing our levels we didn't have this option, so we had to rely on the Mega Man 5 or 6 charge shot. But I will buy the converter, which will convert health drops into ammo at full health, and if I'm at full ammo and full health I'll get bolts, so that'll increase my drop rate there. I'll also increase my drop rate, that'll be really helpful. And well, I want to save up all my bolts for other items, so I will not buy the Met's helmet. I will buy an M-Tank though, just to be safe, although I probably don't need it. If I wasn't worried about buying costumes from the costume shop, well, I would have spent all my bolts already on the charge shot upgrade. That's really powerful. Thankfully, it doesn't deal more damage against the custom dev kit bosses, or the custom bosses added by players. Otherwise, as we discovered in Flashman 85's stream, it really broke several custom boss fights. So the next item on our agenda is to talk with each of the Roadmasters, see if they have anything new to say. But first, costume shop. We unlocked some new things I remember from Forgotten Fortress, so let's see here. Proto Man, Bass, Roll, Beck from Mighty Number 9. I was really hoping we'd have CreshMan, but sadly we didn't. For this part I'm going to be playing as Proto Man. Might as well just liven up the variety and not always play as Mega Man. After all, you'll eventually gain the option to actually include your own custom sprites as well in the costume shop once you get enough energy elements, I mean noble nickels. And there's Tier 4, which I will be visiting soon enough, but like I said, I need to do 2 more things, which is talk with the people in the hub world, and visit the chateau because I forgot to visit it in the middle of Tier 3. There are a whole bunch of items I didn't collect. Why hello there Mega Man, I guess we're playing as Proto Man now, and Mega Man is going to enjoy the sights over here. I don't remember you being there, Saturn. Hello, Yo-Yo Man. So let's visit the chateau, or chateau, however you pronounce it. It's got to have 2 more bosses, after all. We defeated, the second boss, as was Doorman. Oh, Ombudsman. Apologies, I forgot your name. He does have a rather less common name. Well, you are a horror teen Roadmaster in the first place. Anyways, here's Nightman. And because we have 10 noble nickels, we now have the ability to use the hub fast travel. Now, by using the exit utility, we can now transfer between each important location of the festival by, of course, using the exit menu, which I'll showcase soon enough. And because I have 20 noble nickels as well, I now have access to the challenge tent thanks to getting VIP access. I will take a look at that once I get out of here. So for the next item, we need to get 35 noble nickels, which I believe we'll be able to get after completing Tier 4 100%, at least that's what I hope. Well, it's noble nickels because it's named after Nightman, and knights are usually known to be noble people. Maybe those will be used in MaGMML 3, one of those ideas. Wow. Hello there, Hyperstorm. It's been a while since we've seen you. I guess we'll see the rest of the Genesis unit somewhere else. I think we saw the... whatever the ape one was. Well, let's get out of here. As we can see at the bottom, we have the whole bunch of new upgrades. Here's what I was talking about. Once you press the exit utility, you can now teleport to each of the different tiers that you already accessed, or Eddie's shop, my apologies. So we can teleport to tier 1, 2, 3, but we haven't accessed any of the other tiers yet, other than 9, so we don't have access to them. So I'm going to teleport to tier 3, it teleports us to the entrance, and now we can go into the challenge tent to see what it has to offer. I believe you need to complete all of these challenges if you want to unlock all the costumes, as well as 100% the game. These are all the different challenges. Every energy element... Okay, I thought there was a spelling error there. Every single energy element. Oh, this is for the Wily stages and secret stages, or post-game stages. Noble Nickel. The Pit, which I'll get to later on. A lot of these challenges you won't be able to do until you, of course, get into the post-game or complete most of the other things. And of course, here's the sound room to listen to all the tunes. I'm not done just yet though. Before I visit tier 4, of course, I'm going to be exploring the right side of the hub world until I reach up to tier 9. Oh, there you are, Mega Water. You aren't the ape guy, my apologies. Maybe one of the levels actually has a Ferris wheel. Oh, hello there, Quake Woman, from the Mega Man IDW comics, the Archie comics. The Emerald Spears was a anti-robotics terrorist group, if I recall correctly. Well, you are kind of a refrigerator. I'll explore that soon enough, I suppose. I say soon, but it really means a dozen parts. Guess that's it. Time to exit out of here and visit Tier 4. It's supposed to be left of here. After all, the hub world has a non-linear layout for some reason. I wonder how the layout for MaGMML 3 is going to be. That'll be interesting to see. We've accomplished all 4 things that I set out to do, so it's time to visit the Tier 4 station, which has 10 energy elements and 16 noble nickels. And of course, it's a subway station. The Hell Wheel was the upgraded version of the Skull Barrier from Rockman 4 - Infinity, which essentially protects you against spikes and allows you to be propelled fast forward. It's one of the most powerful weapons in Rockman 4 - Infinity. Well, it's fitting that you're greeted by ChargeMan, after all, he is a train. Oh, hello there, El Jolto. That's a reference or in-joke to Joltman from MaGMML 1 and something else. Also, we have Clown Wily, and... oh, this is a reference to McWily's, but we won't be going there until Tier 7, so I guess we'll be able to see the full extent of the joke played out later. So, the McWily combo or something. So first level in this part, in 58th place, is Alien Temple by BizarreIdeaMan, with an average score of 24.2. It's still in the below average category. And as a nice touch, when you play as Proto Man, you have Proto Man's intro tune. No sound at all, no music, just the background, no enemies either. And now we're introduced to the Galaxy Man team. Way to kill the atmosphere there. And we have low gravity for some reason. And a boss door, and we're immediately going to be fighting the Rainbow Alien or something. I don't recall most of the levels in Tier 4, so it's going to be mostly blind for me. Time to fight the boss immediately, I suppose. Ow. I didn't expect to fight a boss just now, I was expecting to go to a stage first. The Rainbow Alien seems to have a variety of attacks based off of the color it has, so that's how it telegraphs it. And it teleports around the arena randomly. The yellow attack will be the hardest to dodge though, if you're not careful. That was the stage of Alien Temple, I suppose. Really short, only 3 screens long. Okay then, I was expecting a stage, but we really only had a boss fight. This would have worked better if this was at the end of a Wily Fortress or Fortress stage in a Mega Man game or fan game as the end of the climax. And the boss fight was fun. I did like how each attack was telegraphed by the different coloring. But really, it needed a stage before it because it's so easy to complete. And the boss fight wasn't that hard. But the boss fight was fun, and it was pretty well designed, I would say. It's a bit more in the okay to above average, but fun. The only more difficult one was, of course, the yellow coloring. Well, this was the shortest stage in MaGMML 2 I've ever played. It seems to be even shorter than MaGMML 1 stages. Even Objective Vein Space, the stage where you have to fall down a set of screens. Well, maybe that was actually shorter than this one, but it's comparable to this length. So in 57th place is Joe Destruction Co. by TheYellowGrinch with a score of 24.4. Guriri liked this the least for some reason. Read me sign, that's a bit concerning. We're introduced to all these swarms and we have spikes. A little bit of a scary jump over there. Hello, Blocky. Come on, please get up there. Unless you can one-shot Blocky, it can be really difficult if you're not careful. Thankfully, there's no Noble Nickels here, so I don't need to worry about finding hidden places. Oh, neat. This Pikmin is protected by all these shields and blocks. That's a very neat challenge, actually. And of course, I instantly see the effects of the increased drop rate, because normally I wouldn't get the bolts there. Oh phew, we had those Concrete Man blocks, or whatever those blocks were from Mega Man 9 stage. This is still more consistent than Mega Maker, so I'm less worried. Oh neat, also the background color for the base Protobuster is different too. Should I go up or down? Music by Kackeba Kabango? I'm probably horribly mispronouncing it. Well, the music sounds nice, but it kinda sounds average to above average. I don't know if we needed an entire screen dedicated to this or a section, especially for an area like this one. Let me get the triple blade out. I wonder if there's a secret up there. Oh, an E-tank. Well, I've gotta get it. I need as much E-tanks as I can get. I wasted a few of them during the doorman encounter. Easy button. Always helpful. So far, the stage has been a rather average in terms of it being a traditional Mega Man level, actually. I don't really see anything to remember at this stage. Oh, I thought these were going to be something like the Ferroman non-sawed platforms. And that's me panicking and not jumping in the right time. Well, at least we can see the checkpoint placement, and it's right over here, actually. We're back at this jump, and I'm not risking it, I'm just using Super Arrow. Whoops, that's not what I meant to do there. Oh goody, jet buttons. And all of these, the chainsaw spines from Mega Man 4. Oh, this is a checkpoint, so I guess this is going for a more traditional Mega Man checkpoint feel. Where traditionally, there's only one checkpoint. Well, there's a checkpoint in the middle of the stage, and the second one is right before the boss fight. Although I'm not sure what the boss fight of this stage will actually be. I knew that was gonna happen. A little bit of scary introduction to those sheepman blocks over there. That was really a lucky drop. Still, Picket Men are ever so annoying. I was a little bit scared over there was going to be a rock or boulder dropping from there. But instead we have all those... Oh, I can tell the difference. If we see the block down here, that means they will drop a boulder. Well, I can definitely tell why it's called Joe Destruction Co., because it's essentially a construction site. There's probably an extra goodie over there, so let me take it. Can I first despawn you? Thank you. And I get another E-Tank. Almost back up to full. I probably shouldn't have purchased that M-Tank though. And that was the end of the stage. I was hoping to fight like a Super Metar or a Super Joe, but apparently not. And it was just a really average stage overall. It's really forgettable, but at least it's solid outside of that one jump segment. But it's fine, and the checkpoint placement is, I suppose, fine as well. It's more traditional styled. At least it fulfills its Joe-styled stage gimmick. I wouldn't say the stage is frustrating overall. I could get by just Buster only. Ace basically summarized it. This level basically just exists, nothing more. With that level out of the way, let's proceed on to the next one. I wonder what this vote poster is for. I don't recognize that Roadmaster. Is that a watermelon on its head? Is it Melon Man? Well, I don't know. There are a lot of in-jokes on this game. Hopefully the MaGMML wiki, which is under construction, please contribute, is probably going to eventually compile all of the lists of in-jokes and secrets. But before we go to this next level, let's talk with this odd Roadmaster. Motion Sickness Man. I believe he's from the Archie comics as well. So essentially, if you suffer from some motion sickness or visual effects in the next level make you sick, just use a skip teleporter. I remember another stage in Tier 8 that also caused a problem, but we'll be getting there in several parts. So the level in question is Neon Man by CreshMan with a score of 24.6. Big motion sickness warning over there. It seems that Ace Bark liked the stage quite a bit in comparison to the rest of the judges, but Angel didn't. I remember this stage now from the Flashman 85 stream. It has one energy element and one noble nickel, and there's a good reason why there's a skip teleport and why it can make you sick. Oh neat, I recognize this musical track. I remember it from SR Fortress 1 from Maho Warrior. But of course, I'll be proceeding onwards because I want to complete the stage legitimately. And now we're introduced to the purple shield attackers. Good placement of that one actually. I do like the background and tile set so far, nice blue neon effect. And now we have blue wall blasters, I suppose. Most of these shield attackers seem to be rather fragile. We have that enemy, the Wadons, which of course if you destroy them, it removes your vision. So I'll just use this to get away. But the real gimmick of the stage is coming about here. See the hologram enemy there? Yeah, it distorts the stage so the graphics don't match up with the collision boxes anymore. It becomes really difficult to go by it. At least in this room, it's a little bit safe to see where you're going because there's no spikes or bottomless pits. but it can really mess with your head, this effect. That's why the motion sickness effect and motion sickness man was placed in the beginning of the stage. But it can get a little bit annoying, this effect, and quite distracting. Thankfully, the collision boxes never actually change where they are, only the visuals of the tiles or the foreground and background. That's the only thing that changes, and it makes it a lot easier. Plus, you can also just use stuff like the Hornet Chaser in order to destroy those holograms and make it a lot easier, the neon holograms. Oh goody, Boomerang Joes. At least they're less durable than the traditional Joes. And as long as you memorize where the platforms are, this stage isn't that bad. If this stage actually changed where all the obstacles were, or the collision boxes, this would become a nightmare to go through. As such over there, I got a little bit confused. Thankfully, the stage immediately returns back to normal once you destroy the hologram. Oh, I see the reference here. Now we're referencing CityWire for this optional room for the Noble Nickel. Clever. And this one, unlike the previous ones, is immune against our shots, so we gotta be a bit careful. Still, nice tribute to CityWire. But there are one or two more tributes to CityWire in the later parts of the game, so we're gonna get a lot more interesting stuff. Oh no. I think I'm stuck here. Of course, I think there's a ladder somewhere. Oops. This is what I was talking about, how you can get messed up, and because this completely destroys the ground, the visuals of the ground, you can get confused where everything is. Oh, there it was. Silly me. At least these ones are destroyable. I don't know if in the future part of the level we're gonna have indestructible disco balls, or rather holograms. Speaking of disco ball, we have this boss. A giant disco ball who basically makes everything... You can't see the ground anymore because you have a disco background. This isn't that bad, but it's when the ground itself gets bent or warped where things get confusing for many players. Good checkpoint placement and life pickups though. This is what I was talking about where it can get scary. But of course, if you quickly memorize where the room is, and don't trust the visuals once the hologram takes effect, then it's not bad. Case in point. Oops, I probably shouldn't have not destroyed that Watan. And instead take a hit by it mistakenly. Of course, we also have the Dompans who can release all those fireworks, which do temporarily illuminate the stage. I'd rather just not destroy the Watans instead and make it safer. I do like the introduction of all these Boomerang Joes though. They are a pretty neat enemy. Got a hole left over here. The stage is gradually getting more difficult, that's for sure. As evidenced by the introduction of all the neon cannons and these floating enemies. I'm being a bit silent over here so I don't die accidentally. And I will consume an E-tank because I have so many of them and I'd rather not start back at the checkpoint. Oh, this room, this is where it gets a lot more difficult to figure out what things are happening. But thankfully, the level author actually gave us the liberty of using stuff like the Hornet Chaser in order to destroy those projectiles, making the stage a lot more bearable for lesser skilled players, but it's still completely possible to do it with Buster only, So many props to CreshMan. That was me sucking because I realized it's actually sticking onto a solid portion. Thankfully, the level author knew that players would get a bit tripped up here and put a checkpoint. Thank you. There's me failing again because I got hit by the dome pan. Again, I keep thinking the hole's a little bit more to the left, but in reality it isn't. And the dome pan's pattern can make it a bit more annoying. Well, third time's a charm, I suppose. Again, I always think the block is a little bit more to the left. This patterns of the background's messing with my perception of where the platform's supposed to be. Oh, it's half. There we go. It's just because of the half square over here that I keep getting stuck and falling into the pit over there. How embarrassing. You need to be a little bit more to the right. Like I said, you need to memorize where these are, otherwise you'll die a lot like I am. But of course, we can use stuff like the super arrow to guide our way, so that's really helpful. That was my mistake, I didn't mean to do that. Yikes, spikes, ow. And the boomerang jaws actually have a lot of reach as well, so you gotta be a bit careful. And even if they die, the projectile does sustain itself for a short period of time. I'm really screwing up this stage, sorry viewers. It's not as hard as I'm making it to be, it's just for a first time player it can get quite challenging. I wonder if there's some extra goodie to the left. Nope. It's just there for show. Really liking the progression of the stage because we started out with a cityscape and now we're in the neon highlights of the city. We're in space, I mean. Also, my muscle memory between Mega Maker and this game is tripping me up with some of the commands. I was able to get Joy to keep working so I can at least get some preferable controls and actually put the slide button or slide key on a more preferable button that's more easily accessible. Also, it's time to fight a custom boss, Neon Man. Let's see what his effect is. Okay, he can change the room style, but it's not as bad. But what he can do is summon Copper Joes. And that was the end of the boss fight. I was really lucky there. If I didn't have the skull amulet, I would have died. 10 minutes, yikes. Like I said, I could have done this better, but because of that one segment where I died 4 times because I wasn't paying attention to where the hole was, it really made the stage harder. This stage becomes a lot easier on repeated playthroughs and once you wrap your head around the gimmick. But I guess that's also why we got the visual indicator warning. Like I said at the beginning, if this gimmick makes you sick, just use the green skip teleporter. But really, it was that only at one hole where I kept having several problems. I always thought the hole was more to the left than what it actually was. Really, it was a half block that was causing issues. I did like the progression of the stage, where we started out in the city and we eventually ended up in the neon skies. Also, I like the neon recolored tile set. So this is definitely an average to above average stage, although how much you like the stage is really dependent on how much you like the gimmick. the main gimmick being the screen distortion effect created by all the holograms. But thankfully you can destroy most of the holograms, barring one in the City War Noble Nickel room. So you do have the option to make the stage as easy if you want. I wouldn't say the Great Propeller enemy was a problem, for the most part. The enemy did prove to be the most annoying were actually the dumb pans, but oh well. And the Roadmaster was pretty fun to fight, although I really screwed it up. Maybe in the true arena or the arena encounter I'll have to fight it legitimately. Maybe even figure out what its weakness is. Oh why hello there Train Met or Metal K1000. I wonder what this is a reference to, Rolls something. We're now on the subway itself. And I just exited by accident, so let's re-enter it. You yourself are a hothead, Magnet Man. I'll have to get back to here with Brightman because there is an extra bit of dialogue I believe you can get, but I didn't unlock the Brightman skin just yet. So in 55th place is Jungle Base by the Mega Man fan 19XX with an average score of 24.8. We're almost at the average scoring level so far. Although, personally speaking, I would say the previous level was above average, even though I sucked at it quite a bit. Oh boy, we have the Contra Stage 1 team again. Hopefully it's not as bad as Chompman was. It definitely isn't as bad, this is a higher tiering level. And we're immediately introduced to all the Sumatrans. Maybe in a little bit more difficult configurations. It reminds me of how they were initially introduced in Napalm Man's original stage, actually. At least I can one-shot them, though. This portion directly reminds me of Napalm Man's intro. But of course, let's see how well it utilizes its gimmicks. So we have the Rocktrons, Potons, and of course the Sumatrans so far. And the Subeels, aka these enemies. So far so good, we have several jumping segments over the platforms. One thing I've noted about the Sumatrans is they jump only when you shoot. Well, nothing so far to say about the stage other than it feels like a shorter remix of Napalm Man so far. Now we have some differences because I don't remember the Neo Shotman being here. So at least there is some change, and we can't normally hit them with our basic weapons. And now we have the Tondarals, aka these floating ship enemies. And a Petite Snakey. Darn, I really wish I had that life pickup. Well, at least there is some more differences. And we have a big snaky mini-boss too, which I immediately trounced because I have the charge shot and rapid fire. I mean infinite shots. If I had a shot limit of 3, this would be a lot more difficult. But of course, because I don't, I can easily spam through all these stages. Oh, hello there, Hothead. Goodbye, Hothead. Or should I say Hot Dog or Friender. Now we immediately fight his brother, I suppose. Who I immediately trounce as well. And... okay. Take 2. And I get killed because I was pointing the wrong direction. Thank you, Sniper Joe. So, this is the mini-boss gauntlet of the stage. That's really the only memorable thing I can think about the stage, other than, of course, the Napalm Man Tau set. Let me see what your weakness is, Hot Dog. No. I just want to make sure for future encounters. Well, I guess I didn't find it. Oh, neat. When you actually activate the flash stopper, it actually sets you back to the 3 max shot limit. I guess that's for balancing reasons. Otherwise it'd make the flash stopper one of the most broken weapons in the game. Even more powerful if you actually have an auto fire. So that was the end of the mini-boss gauntlet, and now we have the enemy spam gauntlet. This is definitely better than CreshMan was, a lot less enemy spammy. And unlike my stage Napalm Forest and Caves, which took a lot of, some would say, too much inspiration from the original Napalm Man, this at least varies it up with different sets of challenges and enemies. Like we're jumping up the scaffolding. This amount of scaffolding should have probably been more in Joe Destruction Co. actually. I hope this is a checkpoint. This seems like a perfect place for one, and now we're introduced to the walking bombs. Maybe not the best place, but I suppose it works. And we're also getting assaulted by the Tondorals. I think that was a Mega Man 1 Sniper Joe or Grenade Joe. I had a feeling I was gonna fall into there. Oh darn, I was really hoping to be a boss fight here. Maybe Napalm Man, some explosion-based Roadmaster like CreshMan. But no, sadly. That would improve this stage. Overall, I would say this is a rather average stage, more forgettable than Neon Man. At least Neon Man had the screen distortion gimmick with the neon holograms. This one just feels like a shorter remix version of Napalm Man mixed in with some other things. And we can blow through most of the enemies with a charge shot as you saw there. And the other only memorable thing other than the remix was the boss gauntlet with the 3 frienders. I mean hot dogs. Rompy is one of the better ways of saying it. At least it's an average stage and it's fun to play, it's not frustrating at the least. But it's just there, it's one of the most average levels of MaGMML 2 I would say. Maybe it's going for the counter team, I'm not sure though. It probably should have used more enemies like the walking bombs to make it such. And even with the screens with all those enemies, it never didn't feel too unmanageable like CreshMan was. And Ace Spark is right, if we weren't going to use the Mega Man trope like this one, instead using more run and gun ones, why use the anticlimax with the boss corridor? I don't mind anticlimax as much as Ace Spark does, but still we had CreshMan. I would assume he'd fit because of his explosion effects. To be fair, Slashman protected the dinosaur jungle in Mega Man 7, which I think was a zoo or something, a robo-dinosaur jungle. Well, I've covered 4 levels and explored the hub world, so I guess this is a good time to call it quits. So in summary, I would say my favorite level was Neon Man by CreshMan, mainly due to its unique neon screen distortion gimmick. So in the next part, I'll probably be completing Tier 4, unless there's a really long level. Well then, thanks for watching, and have a nice day. Toodles!